Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today on our sort of go-to guide for parents. I hope you're all finding this less stressful than usual. I hope it's going to help you, this guide for today. So what we're hoping to look at today is going through what EducationCity is, how you can access the work at home, continuity of learning at home as well, sort of building on what your children already know and maybe sort of filling in a couple of gaps and helping you to help your children essentially. So my name's Haylie. I am the education consultant here at EducationCity and I'm going to be taking you through this today. I was a primary school teacher before joining EducationCity, so I'm going to sort of try and use some of that knowledge to help you in this webinar as well. Now, before we get started, I need to point out that the children's account I'm going to be using is a made-up one. I'm not breaking any GDPR rules by showing you that. And on the basis of GDPR, if you don't already have your child's login, please do contact your school. They will be able to give those logins out to you. Unfortunately, we can't do that as part of our GDPR policy. I'm also going to be using an English account for this, but again, if you're joining us from Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, wherever you're joining us from today, don't worry, I will point out the bits that might be different for you, but there's not a lot in this case. Okay, so let's head into EducationCity. Look at go.education. Hey.
Just wanted to say, can you share your screen, please?
Is it not working again?
We just can't see it. That's the one. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much. I do apologise, everybody. I didn't realise you couldn't see my screen there. So welcome to this webinar. This is what I'm going to be covering today throughout this particular webinar, and it should be about 15 to 20 minutes long for those of you who are worrying. So we're going to head to go.educationcity.com, and this is where we will log into EducationCity. There we go. And there it is, it takes us into this child's web page. Now, I've already logged onto this prior to this webinar, so you will have to log on and make sure you select the correct country at the end when you are logging in. So this is the view that your children will get when they log in. It should have their name on it, there it is, and also their school name underneath. So lots of really exciting features on here. They do have access to their avatar, so they'll have fun sort of choosing which monster they want on their screen for that day. He looks quite a happy chappy. Let's pop him on, there we go. And obviously this interactive picture just here, this will change as you're going through EducationCity as well. So it keeps it fun and interactive for the children. Now, you'll notice that the tiles on the main screen are also repeated down this left-hand side. So you'll see the little icons are replicated there, but this left-hand panel will follow you throughout EducationCity. So we can shrink that down like this, and you can see there, that's the panel that will follow you through. So what do you have? Well, you have access to work. You've got your classwork and your homework. Now, if your child didn't originally have a subscription, or your child's school, I should say, didn't already have a subscription to EducationCity, don't worry, because we've given all schools a free trial access in the UK throughout this period of time. If your child does already have a subscription, or your child's school again, their home access has been updated to include 24-hour access. So normally, you may have the classwork grayed out during homework times and vice versa. But for now, you do have access to everything. So you're able to go in and you'll see what work teachers have set for you. There we go. And in the homework there as well. So when you go into these, you'll notice some of them have a due by date, which has been set by the teacher. And what we can do is we can click in to open that up. And you may see that the teacher has popped in a little note just there. So in this case, practice your 9, 11 and 12 times tables and stay safe. A little message there from Mrs. T. And then all you've got to do is click into the activity or whatever it is that's been set, and you can complete those. Now, an activity is recognisable via this little symbol just here. And they are what they say on the tin. They are activities that your child or your children can go through. If I head into the fairy tales one over here, you'll notice you have an activity, but there are other tools available as well, which your child's teacher may set for them. So the first thing, it may be a think it. Now, if I just click in and open this up, I think it is about having a discussion and having that thought process that leads into explaining your answer. For the younger children, it may be about discussion, communication skills, and for the older children, you may be looking at mastery maths, reasoning and justification, or interpreting and explaining reading or something along those lines. So in this case, you've got, we know he may have been a greedy old wolf, but can you think of any of the reasons why the big bad wolf would have wanted to eat the little pigs? How many reasons can you think of? So you can have a bit of a discussion about that with your child. And then in the answer section, we've got what reasons did you think of? So you can share those. Maybe you and your child both write down some reasons and you can share those with each other. And then you've got a bit of a next step question. Sometimes there's a fun fact, sometimes there's a bit of key vocabulary, but you've got a bit of a next step here. Do you think the pigs could have been unkind to the wolf? What do you think? So using your emotive skills to answer that question. And then if we head back into that folder just there it is, fairy tales. You'll notice now there's a big green tick, and that shows that your child's teacher that they have completed that particular tool. Then they can work their way through, maybe looking at the Learn screen next. Again, Learn screen is a really fun, interactive video sort of slideshow tool. And your child, really useful for introducing a new topic or for refreshing something that your child may not have known prior. So if I just open that up, you'll be able to see we've got an objective here. So this is the objective that your child or children may be working on. And then as soon as we press start, it will begin. And you can see here, we can pause, we can play, we can rewind and fast forward, and you've got your slide selector along the bottom as well. Now, some of the slides may have a coloured line underneath. This will ask a question of your child or your children. So just to secure what they're reading so that they know what the Learn screen is trying to tell them about. So really useful for introducing or refreshing an area of work. If your child's having trouble with a particular area, you can have a look for a Learn screen. And again, you can see that has been ticked. Now, when it comes to an activity, your child can have a go and answer those questions as quickly as they can in the time frame that they've been given. Some teachers may remove the countdown timer altogether, but you don't have to worry about that. It's literally a case of answering the questions on there. And the difference with the activity is that instead of having a tick, it will show their best score, which means they can keep having a go, trying to improve that best score as best as they can. So really useful tools there. Please do go away and explore after this webinar. So we can have a look at these, have a look, see what we've got. Some of them may look like this, which means they are locked in a particular order. So they have to go through things in the order that they've been set in. Now, if we head back to that first one, teacher was asking the child to look at 9, 11 and 12 times tables. So you can see there's 9 and 11 in here. We don't yet have 12. What we can do is head over to the pick and play area in the subjects, and you can have a look by the subject type for some tools that will support your child in their learning. Now, this will appear different depending upon where you are logging into. So for Scotland, this may say early, first and second with your P levels on. But don't worry, the content is still the same. You have the different tools available. And for the times tables, you've got some really fun videos in there that you can maybe have a go with and sing along. So please do feel free to have a go at those. And if we scroll down, there's our 12 times table on there. And we've got some really fun activities for your children to do as well. So please do use these activities and these tools as much as you need to. So let's head back to the home page. We've looked at our classwork and our homework, accessing that set work, and using the subjects area for continuing the learning at home. Now, there may be some times, like if your child is learning phonics, or maybe there's some vocabulary that your child isn't quite sure of. Don't worry about that, because we do also have our search content area just here. So we can type in a keyword. For example, if your child is learning the difference between subordinating and coordinating conjunctions, we can type that in, and we can filter down the left-hand side in terms of whether they're using a tablet, the subject area, and also the year group the children are in. Now, if we scroll down, it will give us a bit of a summary as to what each area does. And if you're looking to explain something or go over something with your child, I do suggest a learn screen. And you can have a look through those and try and find something that maybe appeals or fulfills that criteria that you are looking for. Oh, here we go. Subordinating and coordinating conjunctions. So this is something you could look through with your child to help you understand so that you can support your child or children more. So please do explore and have a play with EducationCity. Loads of different ways that you can find resources, and all activities are marked for you as well. So you can head into scores, and if you work through something in Pick and Play, you'll be able to see their latest score. Keep having a go, try and improve to get that best score available. Again, some tools there in maths. Now, you may notice these are assessments. These are tools that teachers can set for your children as well. The assessments are marked for you, but the formative assessments that the children do will also provide them with a revision journal. So this is full of different tools that are there to fill the gaps in a child's learning. So if we head in here, you'll be able to see, there we go, a couple of maths tests that have been done there. We can open one of those up, click on to revise, and we can start working through these again. So you can see there's some learn screens in there, little hover over there, it'll tell you, and also some activities just to remind you. And obviously keep having a go, keep refreshing until they are secure with that particular area. So that is EducationCity for you. Accessing set work that teachers have given, using the subjects or the search content area in order to continue that learning at home, and helping you to help your children in filling any gaps, but in their continuity of learning as well. Please do have a play with this after today's webinar. And I thank you very much for taking the time out to listen today. Keep your eyes open for future webinars that we have just for parents, just to help you out a little bit. And do take care and stay safe. Thank you ever so much for listening today. Bye-bye.